Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 162 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, the Geeks on Tour. Hey, everyone. Today's beginner's lesson is there's a setting for that, how to customize your smartphone. But first, Chris has something for you. What do you have, Chris?
I want to talk a little bit about Google Takeout and the fact that the Google Plus service is going away real soon now.
Real soon now.
Yeah. April 2. And if you ever used Google Plus, you should follow the instructions to download all of your content. And it's really not very hard. So I made a little video to show you how to do it, and we will play that video.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with the Geeks on Tour, and I want to talk to you about the Google Plus platform shutting down. It will shut down on April 2, 2019. Now, this does not refer to any other Google products, such as Google Photos, Gmail, Google Calendar. Those are not affected. So it's only if you used Google Plus. So did you use it? If not, then this doesn't concern you. If yes, or you're not sure, you should download your content. It's very easy with Takeout, Google Takeout, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So I'm going to do a demo. I'm going to take you to takeout.google.com and show you how to select just Google Plus products and get a download of all of your content that was ever put on Google Plus. It will come to you in a package in an email. You download it, then you unzip it and browse through it. Let me show you how. So first of all, what is Google Plus? Maybe you're saying, well, I don't know if I ever used it. What is it? You would get to it with plus.google.com. And here it is. It might look a little familiar. Think of it as Google's competitor to Facebook. Here is a news feed of things that the people I follow have posted. If I click on profile, I will see my information, and here's everything I ever posted. So to download all your content, step 1, go to Google Takeout. Just takeout.google.com. And make sure you are logged in with your account. If you're not logged in at all, it will prompt you to do so. This will allow you to download your content from any of Google products. Look at all of these. We don't want that, so step 1 is to deselect all. Then scroll down till you see just the Google Plus content. And the plus ones, where people have liked your stuff, your circles of people, your communities, and most of all, your Google posts, collections, and other content. So we have just 4 items checked. Scroll down to the bottom, and next step, archive format, delivery method. I want it sent to me via email. You do have choices. If you want to add it to an online storage, you can. I want it sent to me on email, so I'll just save it on my computer. It will be a zip file. Archive size 2 gigabytes means if it's more than 2 gigabytes, you'll have multiple files. Create archive. And now you just wait until you get an email. Here's what the email will look like. Your Google Data Archive is ready. So I just want to download this to my computer. Click Download Archive. And it wants to know where I want to put this. I'm just going to put it under my account, my folder, and documents. And I will make a new folder called Google Plus Takeout. And that is where I want this zip file saved. So once it's saved, I go to the folder where I put it, Google Plus Takeout, and it's a zip file. This is on a Windows machine. You right-click and extract all. And that'll take a minute. Once you have your archive downloaded and extracted, there's two ways to browse around. Drill down, and you will see this index.html. If you open that, you have a Google Plus stream that you can click on, and this has it organized a little bit. Or if that doesn't work for you, you can just drill down into the folders, open individual folders, and keep going until you see some content to display. I actually think this is a total mess. I have a hard time making heads or tails of it, but I feel good that I have done the process suggested by Google and used Takeout to download all of my Google Plus content before the service shuts.
Wow.
Okay. There seemed to be a bit of flickering in that. So just know that video will be uploaded to our YouTube channel.
That's a brand new one. Yeah, I'll get it up there. Maybe.
And just I think it is important to use the Google Takeout for all of your Google Plus data, just in case.
Okay. I don't see any questions there, so let's go on. Hi, everyone. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your iPhone or your Android phone or tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach, also known as propeller heads. And we think the best way to learn is on a regular basis, lifelong learning. So we just pick a topic and we do one of these YouTube shows. This is episode number 162.
Wow.
If you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll get a lesson every week, whether we do a live show or not. All of our data is collected on our website, geeksontour.com, and all the archive of all 162 shows is on the website under the weekly class menu.
Very cool. So, Chris, where are we now?
We're home, but not for long.
Back on the road tomorrow,
Back on
right?
the road tomorrow, yeah. We were up in Perry, Georgia for the FMCA rally week before last.
Right.
And we almost stayed out this week in between, but we said, no, we got to have some time at home.
I think that would have been miserable, actually. We both have colds.
Yes, we got to just come home and stay in bed this week. Starting tomorrow, we are on the road back up to northern Florida, where the Our Village organization is having a rally. And that should be fun.
That should be fun. We always have fun with those guys anyway.
Yeah.
So our beginner's lesson today is there's a setting for that. And you'll hear us say that a lot today, or wherever you see us there, we'll say that. And how to customize your smartphone. Yeah,
it's kind of like my version of what so many people say. There's an app for that.
Right.
And there's an app for every little thing. But you know something? You can have too many apps.
I think so.
You think? So there's a lot of things that your phone can do just by understanding the settings. So there's a setting for that. First, you need to know how to get to settings. On the Apple, it's this icon. It's supposed to look like a set of gear wheels, or at least that's what I call it. I call that a gear icon. So it'll be on a home screen somewhere. And that is what always takes you to your settings. It is important to know, though, that it takes you to the settings screen at whatever position you left off. So lots of times I open settings on my iOS device and I don't recognize where I am. So you have to know how to go back so that you're back at the top level of settings. On an Android, it's a similar icon. It's a gear. And you can always find it by swiping down from the top, or that icon is in your list of icons as well.
And I have to swipe down twice to get mine. So it's a swipe and a swipe.
Or does two fingers swipe once?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, I think that was that's something I think I figured out once.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
fingers. Two fingers swipe down gives you the second screen of the swipe. I have used that. It's just that I
You
do
really
it.
forget it. Yeah.
I do it by instinct and I forget.
Yeah. Read the manual.
RTFM.
You might say, what manual? Now, I still say, well, read the manual, because there are more settings on these phones than we can show you in one lifetime. So this episode, as normal, is talking about concepts, and I will demonstrate a selection of settings. But I think it's really important to know how to get the manual for your exact device. How do you do that? You just Google for it. It's online. The manual is online, but you need to know the exact make and model of your phone. And here's how you find out. There's a setting for that.
I want to get the make and model of the phone I'm holding in my hand. I know it's an iPhone, but I don't know the specifics. You go into settings and general and about. And down here under model, we see an MNQH2LLA. So that doesn't mean anything to me, but if I put that into a Google search, we will be able to tell the exact model of this phone. Now I put that code into a Google search. It was MNQH, and case doesn't matter, 2LL/A. Isn't that amazing? It tells me not only it's an iPhone 7 Plus, but it's 32 gigabytes black. On this Android Samsung device, I want to find out the exact model number. I'm going to go into settings. I like to drag down from the top to find the little gear for settings. And then it's all the way at the bottom, about phone. And it says that the phone name is Samsung, but there's the model number, SMG900V. If I put that into a Google search, I'll find out the exact model. And you might need to know the Android version as well. Now I can put in that make and model, so SMG900V. And I search for that, and it tells me that's a Galaxy S5, 16 gigabytes. And I could buy one, but no, I'm looking for the owner manual, owner information and support from Samsung. Manuals and downloads. The user manual in English, and download that. Very nice to have the specific instructions for your exact device.
Pretty cool. Oh, where'd my mouse go?
Yes, and on the iOS devices, I highly recommend getting the manual in the Books app, the iBooks, I think it is. Then it's just always right there on your device, and you can look up anything. And of course, on the Android device, you can download it also, but you'll have to remember how to get to it.
Got to remember something. I hate when I have to do that.
Really.
All right. Read the manual.
Read the manual. I said that there were hundreds of settings. So how do you find them? A really handy option is to use search. Both iOS and Android have the ability to search. And I will show you that when we get to the demo. So for example, if somebody tells you turn on your do not disturb settings, and you say, well, where is that? Well, just go to settings and search for do not disturb, or change your ringtones. Search for ringtones. You don't have to know where it is.
Yeah, I know somebody that was doing that just yesterday.
Yes, I did change my ringtone. Now I don't recognize it when my phone's ringing.
What's that noise?
Quick settings are really good to know about. They are for things that you just need to turn on right now and maybe turn off. On the Android, you swipe down from the top, and as Jim mentioned, maybe twice or with 2 fingers, and you will see the quick settings right there. You don't have to tap on the gear to get them. On iOS devices, it's called the Control Center. And on older phones, you swipe up from the bottom to see it. On the iPhone 10 and newer models of the iPad, you swipe down from the upper right corner. And from there, you can change the brightness, the screen rotate, the flashlight. And I will show you that when we get to the demo part. Now, apps. So there's system settings. So settings that affect how your phone operates. Then there's settings that affect how individual apps operate. And it's kind of funny how it works out. The iOS treats it differently from the Android.
Oh, of course they do.
In iOS, you almost always start with settings, then find the app. And in Android, you almost always start with the app, then find settings. So for example, and I'll show you this when I get to the demo, to add grid lines to your camera. First, you go to settings in iOS. On your iPhone, you would go to settings, find camera, and then turn grid lines on. On Android, you open up your camera, find the way to change settings, and find the grid lines.
So if you have,
setting.
like us, both iPhones and Androids, you're constantly, where are the settings?
Yeah, going back and forth. It is an issue. So settings, then app, or app, then settings. All right, I'm going to do a demo. I'm going to show you quick settings. First in the iPad and iPhone, and then I'll go to the Android. Find My iPhone is a setting that it's very important that you make sure is turned on. Don't go to sleep too fast. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your device. I don't want my screen to go black before I'm ready for it. And guess what?
There's a setting for that.
I will show you how to add a grid to the camera, also how to add location to your photos, and a few more things. I'm just gonna go through some settings and explain different things about how settings works. So I'm going to start with the iPad, just because for the quick settings, the control center, it does work differently. My iPad on iOS 12 acts a little bit like an iPhone 10 here. You know, it used to be that you swipe up from the bottom to get your control center. On the iPad, that does absolutely nothing now. On the iPhone 10, that's what gets you your home. So upper right-hand corner and swipe down. That's how you get your control center now on iPhone 10s and on iPads. Now, what if I didn't get my finger all the way off the screen? Now I'm in search. Or what if I swiped and I wasn't all the way over at the right? Now I'm in notifications. So tiny little differences in
Hell yeah, you got to know where you're
in
touching.
where you put your finger. So top right, start off the screen and swipe down. And this is where your quick settings are. This one is brightness. See how it's getting dimmer. So just that quick and easy, you can change the brightness. One of the main reasons that is if you're outside and trying to take a picture. Somebody once showed me how she could not see the screen at all when she was outside and wanted to use her camera. When I showed her just go into quick settings and turn the brightness all the way up, hey, she could see.
And she was thrilled.
And there's the volume, and there's airplane mode. And that one, this is an interesting one. That one is screen rotate. If I tap it, it turns red. That means it's locked. That means no matter how you hold your device now, the contents will not change. So if your phone stopped rotating, then take a look at those quick settings. And this one with the moon, this is your do not disturb. That means, hey, it's sleepy time, don't bug me. And just a tap to turn it on and a tap to turn it off. All right, now I want to show you that same, that's it for the iPad, really.
Still on Apple.
So yes, still on, this is my iPhone. And swipe to get to the control center in mine, which is a 7 Plus, it is up from the bottom. And you should reckon, it still looks the same. Although there might be some different buttons in here than you see on yours. How would that happen? There's a setting for that. There's a setting for what you want to be in your control center. And you can find that in your main settings. All right. So and flashlight. Oh, this is probably one of the most, this can save your life. Right there, flashlight, and you can see that it has turned the flashlight on. Why didn't that one exist on the iPad?
There's no LED flash.
There's no
flash
on the iPad.
No flashlight, no LED.
Okay, so those are your quick settings. The rest of the settings are all under this icon, this gear icon that says settings. So one of my favorite ones is about that don't go to sleep too fast. Meaning, have you ever been working with your phone and you kind of hesitated and the screen goes black and you're not ready for it yet? Well, on the iPhone, you'll find that under display and brightness, and it's called auto lock. I mean, after a certain amount of time, it locks, which also means the screen goes black. If yours is set to 30 seconds, I guarantee you it's annoying you.
Yeah.
I like mine at 2 minutes. Why should you never have it at never?
The screen uses a lot of battery. And if your screen is on all the time, your battery is going to go down very quickly. We use that setting sometimes when we're using these devices to project during our seminars, though. So it's handy to have, but it's certainly not something that you want to leave on never.
So the shorter that you can live with it, I mean, if you can live with it at 1 minute, your battery will thank you. I put mine at 2. And so I want it at 2. In fact, I'll have it at 3 for today. Now, we showed you how to do not disturb from the quick settings to just turn on do not disturb or turn it off. But I like mine to be quiet all night long. I do not want to hear notifications. I do not want to get a spam call in the middle of the night. So I want do not disturb on according to time settings. Now, if I'm not sure where do not disturb is, that's where you would use search. So do not disturb, and there I see it right there. Do not disturb. And here's the option. Instead of just turning it on or off, there's a schedule. I tap there and I can tell it from what time to what time.
That's way past your bedtime.
No. And now, where am I? I'm in this search. I have to know how to cancel the search to get back to my settings. All right. Find my iPhone. Once again, I'm not sure where exactly it is. So I'm going to tap on search and type find. And there it is. Find my iPhone. Now, this is my iPhone. So I'm not going to find it now, but I have to make sure that the setting is turned on so that I could find it if the occasion should arise. And especially this one, send last location. So if I've lost it and the battery dies, it will at least send the last location and I'll be able to find that. And I think we had an episode on how to actually do the Find My Phone. But my purpose here is just to make sure that the setting for Find My Phone is on. All right, now let's work with an app. I want to add those grid lines to the camera. First of all, what do I mean? Here's the camera, and there you can have grid lines going along the camera just as a composition aid, so you can get the horizon straight, etc. So you start with settings, and then you have to find camera. Now, remember I said it's down a ways now. I'm in the iCloud and Apple ID, so I need to back up, and cancel that search till I'm at my home screen of settings. Now I find camera, and there is the grid setting. So just to show you what that looks like. Now I have these lines that they're just on the screen. They don't appear on a picture. They just help you
With composition.
compose. Now, another thing I like when I take a picture for it to record the location that picture was taken in. And if you've never turned on that setting, yours don't have that. Settings. And even though this has to do with the camera, it's not in here. Apple considers location settings a privacy issue. So at the top level of settings, privacy, location services. First of all, overall location services must be on, but that's not all. You have to go down and find camera here. And if yours is set to never, that means when you take a picture, the photo does not know the location where it was taken.
Some people like that.
Some people like it that way, yeah. And that is the default. So if you've never done that, you need to go in and do that. Okay. And the last thing is turning off cellular for an app. This is a kind of a iOS only thing. If you have a limited cellular data plan, you might want to make sure that you don't waste it on YouTube. So it's in settings under cellular, and you've probably been in here before. It's under cellular where you can turn on roaming or you can turn on personal hotspot, but you can also tell individual apps whether or not they are allowed to use cellular. And it's spinning right here, but they will appear. There we go. All right. So I can go down here and say YouTube is not allowed to use cellular data.
And that's great if you have a limited data plan.
Yeah. But don't do that by accident. I've had several people actually say, when I leave the house, my Google Maps no longer works. Well, that's because they had turned off the ability to use cellular data for Google Maps. Doesn't do them much good when they're in the car then. So that is my list of settings to show you on the iPhone.
Very good.
Now for the Android, which happens to, now Androids, every one is going to be pretty different. And mine happens to be a Samsung Note 7. So everything I'm going to show you is specific, may or may not work on yours.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Just uh-oh.
Okay.
Keep going. There
I
we
don't
go.
like that.
No, I had to get rid of the Apple and put up the little Android guy.
Yes, he's so cute. Quick settings on Android are swipe down from the top. And they're these right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 show on one screen, but you can swipe down again and see more. And there's the brightness setting. So, wow, you can get it all the way dark.
That'll come in handy somewhere.
Screen rotate is this one. Now, it is kind of the opposite. On the iPhone, the rotate, when you tap on it, it locks it. On the Android, it's the opposite. When it's unchecked, it's locked into portrait mode. And when it is checked or on, it allows auto rotating. One thing that's very different. Oh, and let's search for ringtones. So where is search?
I see
Go
it.
back to home here and settings. So here are all the settings on Android, on and on and on. And underneath each one of those are many, many more. So if I want to find ringtones, I might want to just tap the search button and type ringtones.
My favorite thing about ringtones is I say when you're in the doctor's office in the waiting room, that's a great place to test all of your ringtones and notification sounds at the highest volume possible.
Yeah.
No.
Try it. Try it. I dare you. Okay. So change. I think it's kind of nice for people to have set their specific ringtone. Otherwise, we're all jumping when one person's phone rings.
I see it all the time. I do it myself.
All right. And how about that? Don't go to sleep too fast. Well, that is called something different on the Android. And here I'm going to find it in the menu. So don't go to sleep. Seems to me logical that would be under display. So display, and it is screen timeout. This will let it time out after 15 seconds
That's
of inactivity.
crazy. I can't imagine anybody using that.
That is very crazy. So make sure this is set the way that is comfortable for you. Now, a very different setting on the Android that you don't have on iPhones, or at least on mine, on Samsung, you have something called easy mode. And I'm not sure where that is, so I'm going to tap search and type easy. And there's easy mode. If I turn easy mode on and apply, my phone looks very, very different.
Right. We've run across this several times where somebody's asking us to help them with their phone at one of these rallies. And I'll look at it and it's like, well, I don't know what's going on. Chris, help me here. And she knows right where. There's a setting for that.
There's a setting for that. Now, if you're a beginner with your phone and maybe you don't want all the bells and whistles, turning it on to easy mode does cut down on the options. It makes the icons bigger. You might like it. But if you have a phone that has all sorts of options, why limit yourself? So I'll go back into settings and I'll search once again for easy mode. And I will turn it off, put it back into standard mode. Okay. Do not disturb. Same thing. I'm not sure where that is, so I'll search for it. Do not disturb. And I also don't want to just turn it on. I want to make a schedule. And there's the schedule. For every single day, you can have a different schedule. If you want to have different schedule for Saturday and Sunday, every day is the same to us. So I have it the same for every day. Now, how about adding a grid to the camera? I bet you mine is on this one already.
I just want to make a point there. There are exceptions that you can add in there. So a family member or somebody like that will override. You can set in their telephone number or their contact information, and it will override the do not disturb,
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Yeah. So can you see that grid line on there? let's say for some reason you don't want it, or I just want to show you where the setting is. Now on the iPhone, I had to go into settings first and then camera. Here we go. This is the Android. You go into camera first and then find settings. It's still a gear, but it's on the camera. And then there's all sorts of settings for the camera on this phone.
Especially that phone. That's a
Yeah,
crazy phone.
Crazy good camera, yeah. So, and there's your grid line. I can turn it off if I want, but I like it. I really do like having it there. Another feature of this particular camera that I love is called Quick Launch. So if I turn that on, quickly press the power key twice to open the camera. That's even if the phone is locked. I can just double press that button and I have the camera open and ready to go.
That's fast.
Or when I'm checking my email or I'm looking at Facebook, I look up and see a picture I want to take, just double press that button and I get my camera. I love that one. Now, there's also, so let's look at the camera a little bit here. So I have panorama mode, live focus, photo, video, slow motion, and hyperlapse. Now let's say I look at somebody else's Samsung Note 9 and they have a super slow motion. Why isn't it on mine?
I bet you there's a setting for that.
There's a setting for that. So here we are in the camera and I go to settings. Now notice I'm in panorama mode though. So your settings not only have to do with the app that's open, but maybe even the mode that the app is in. Like if I'm in selfie mode, I'll get different options. See how it says, well, there's HDR, grid lines, location. I'm sure there's something in here that is not here when I'm in regular camera mode. So if you don't see a setting, make sure that you're just at your main photo and not in selfie. Now go in here and yeah, see how there's more things now? And it is
super slow-mo.
Camera modes that I'm looking for. So modes. There's a food mode.
Oh boy, I'm getting hungry.
I didn't feel the need for that, so I unchecked it. Wide selfie is kind of cool. Pro, I don't use. I like letting the camera do the settings for me. Live focus, I like. Super slow-mo, I just didn't like that much. But watch this. If I take off everything and then go back to my camera, all I have is photo or video. Photo or video. So just because you have the same phone doesn't mean that you see the same options, because it depends on how your settings are set. And lastly, let's see. A very special feature of this particular phone is called the Edge screen, and I use it all the time. So what it is if I want to start an app, all of my commonly used apps are available to me right here on this Edge. Is that cool? I love that. So just there, but there's more. If I rub this over a bit, I now get all the people that I normally call. So these are my speed dials,
contacts,
if you will. So apps and favorite contacts. Now, just because I follow my own advice and I peruse my settings, I discovered that there is, and I don't remember where it is now, so I'll search for it, Edge panel. So there's my apps and my people, but look at all this. There's more. Finance, sports, Clipboard, everything you copy shows up on that one. Reminders. I don't use Samsung stuff. Quick tools, weather, and tasks, and smart select. And I think that's it. You can't select more than 10. So watch what happens now. If I bring my edge over and again, now I'm on that smart select again, weather again. I have a compass.
You're going in the wrong direction.
There's everything that I have copied lately. That's pretty cool. I think I might keep that one. Yahoo Sports, Finance, and now I'm back to my, so that's too much. That's definitely too much. So how would you get rid of some of those?
There's a setting for that.
There's a setting for that. And if you don't remember where it is, you go into settings and search and type edge panel, and then go and deselect ones that you don't think you're going to use. I like the clipboard. I'm going to keep that one. So that's it. I'm going to leave it with 3. And now you might not have this phone, but I'll bet you that your phone has some special settings that I've never seen before. So
that's one of the reasons we really like going to these rallies and having all the people come up with their phones and asking us questions. And Chris, how does this work?
we see all sorts of different phones. Jim suggested while you're in the dentist office to bring up all your ringtones and play every one of them. No, I say just pull up your settings and just peruse them. Just look. You will learn things. Be careful not to change too many of them. You might make a mess out of it.
Yeah, I've done that.
But there is reset option too, to reset everything, the defaults. But I've customized so many things. I would hate to have to do that now.
Right.
I'm done.
Oh, you are? Well, isn't that great? Questions? Well, I think I do have a few here. What do we have? Oh, I got as far as Google Plus mailing me my stuff. Wasn't sure how to open it. Okay, Rosemary, now you know. Bob says that he found out during church that there's more than one setting for the volume control. Wow.
During church, eh?
Yeah, that's a good time to find these things out. All right. The manuals are nice. Is there an easy way to get the English version of them on YouTube? I don't know. So many are low quality or from contributors that have English as a second language. Not sure what you're talking about there, but I guess there's a way to do that. Rosemary loves the flashlight. Uses it all the time when the dog wants to go out and you're in bed. So you can just shine the light so they can see where the door is. Or you have to get up and take the dog out. I don't know. And Bill says, my older Samsung still allowed localization to be part of the file name. I've tried unsuccessfully online, Verizon, and searched myself to find that option with the Note 5. Any ideas?
That the location is part of the file name.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's not on my
Don't
Note
know
3,
if you've
as I
searched.
recall.
If you've searched for that and haven't found, then I mean that's all I would do.
Maybe we'll take a look and see if we can find something for you. All right, go on.
App of the week. No app of the week.
No app of the week.
Enough apps. There's a setting, but not there's an app for that, but there's a setting for that. So
okay.
You can have too many apps, can't you? I think you can.
I think you can.
And we try to show apps that we actually use. So no app this week.
Well, we do invite you to become a member at Geeks on Tour. Just go to geeksontour.com. That's our website, and click on Become a Member. And see our website, geeksontour.com. That's
Weekly class is where you will find the archives of all of these shows. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel here and click that little bell. That will get you notified when we're live
Right.
or when we've added anything new.
Okay. Well, did you learn something? I know I did. Spending time reviewing all your phone settings will help you A, learn about your phone, B, mess up your phone, C, learn programming.
A, learn about your phone.
And A and B. Which of the following cannot be found on Quick Settings Control Center? A, brightness, B, screen timeout, screen rotate, or do not disturb.
Well, brightness, screen rotate, and do not disturb are things that can just be turned on and off. So yes, they are in Quick Settings Control Center. It's screen time out that you need to set to a number, and that is in your main settings.
All right, true or false? If my phone is the same make and model as your phone, it will operate the same. That's a trick question.
False. It depends on how the settings are set.
And eventually it will work the same if all the settings are the same.
True.
Changing settings for apps generally works differently for iPhones than for Android devices. The two methods are stated below. Which is the iPhone? A, open settings, then find the app, or B, open the app and then find the settings button.
The iPhone is A, open settings first, then app.
Okay. On the Samsung, you can open the camera from anywhere by double pressing the power button. If that doesn't work on your Samsung, you need to
There's a setting for that.
check
You
for
need to
settings.
find the setting, and it's called Quick Launch on mine.
Okay. Well, Chris, what's the webpage that lists all of our weekly shows?
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is weekly class.
And the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters.
geeksontour.com, the menu item is blogs and news. Newsletters is under there.
Great. And why do people pay nearly $60 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
They get to ask us questions on our Q&A page. They get access to hundreds of tutorial videos, learning guides, and ebooks, and they get the written notes from these shows. And some people actually pay just to say thank you for all the free training they get
Isn't
from
that
us.
nice? We like those people too. All right. Well, next Sunday, do you think we'll be doing a live show?
I think we're going to be on the road coming back from, or even the rally's still going on Sunday. I'm not sure.
We're not sure, so
So
probably
probably
not. Next live show topic? Well, we'll figure it out. If you have a suggestion for a topic, let us know in the comments, either here or on our webpage, Facebook. We're all over the place. Well, that's it for this week. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour. Thanks for watching.
Just keep asking, what does this button do?
Don't touch that
Try
button.
it. Try it.